Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Well, the U.S. government may be taking its war on the rich to the next level. The IRS is now contemplating making wealthy Americans prove how they earned their wealth. Let me quote, "Our government has gone from the ridiculous to the sublime in its mad attempt to reduce the debt." That was written by Rich Coleman, a Boston attorney and certified financial planner. Coleman says the easy method would be for the country to try a combination of raising taxes and or reduce spending. Well, I think that makes sense to a lot of us, but instead the IRS has come up with the novel strategy of auditing how people obtained their wealth. He notes this is simply a way of raising taxes without raising the tax rate. Pretty clever. Coleman envisions a scenario where an IRS agent comes to your home and starts estimating its value, looking at you as if you are the clone of the Ponzi scheme king Bernie Madoff. The agent may ask, "Did you really earn that money you have in these brokerage accounts?" He knows that less than 9% of Americans have assets in excess of $100,000. He might say, "You don't look smart enough to have accumulated so much." You answer that your wealth was accumulated through frugal savings over the decades. "Well, then where is the proof?" he might ask. Now, to prove this, you're going to need to dig deep through decades of records, some of which probably no longer exist since the government only requires you to keep records for 3 years. When you can't prove how you accumulated your net worth, Coleman says the IRS will calculate what they feel you are worth by what someone of your means would have normally accumulated. Any amount over that estimate, they will assume that you accumulated it illegally. They will then calculate how much money you owe the government in back taxes and penalties. Now, Coleman suggests this may result in you having to liquidate assets and possibly even jail time. Let me quote Rich. He says, "Although this scenario seems like something out of a Woody Allen movie, the IRS recently announced that they are seriously contemplating this type of audit." End quote. The current administration believes that years of reduced audits have enabled many people to evade taxes. Rich says that the new pot of gold that the IRS believes it can seize with some changes in its rules and procedures is related to uncovering the trillions of potential IRS revenue hidden or not reported in previous years. To pull this off, the IRS will create a new division, the Global High Wealth Exam Group, charged with scrutinizing the past tax returns of high net worth individuals. Remember, high net worth may not be as high net worth as you think. Only 3% of Americans have a net worth of $500,000 or more. So this group that will be created by the IRS is going to be comprised of wealth squads. And these will be highly trained and experienced agents with the skills to delve into the examination of the returns and the people who prepared the returns. Rich says that each of these squads will have its specialists focused on one particular area of tax evasion, like financial securities or tax-exempt organizations, etc. And what does all this mean to you? Well, for now, probably not much. Coleman says initially the audits will only involve those worth tens of millions of dollars. But he says if the IRS's new team finds a few criminals in this group, it may not be long before the government widens its new strategy to every person with an income over $250,000. This would be similar to what happened with the once rare alternative minimum tax. Coleman suggests the new wealth audits may even create a whole new industry, professionals schooled in protecting your assets from being grabbed by our government. Apparently, our government has a money script that anyone who has wealth must have accumulated it illegally. One of the destructive consequences of this manuscript will be the considerable cost for those who will be forced to prove they have followed the rules, which is most. Thanks for listening.